right, part 2 with Kyle at the shop.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will you give me a tour?
Sure. Let's head on in. So the first thing when you walk in, you've got the rem rack. Everybody loves coming here and
This is
picking through this.
So when I get the phone calls for pieces at our yard, and we don't sell out of our yard, sorry everybody, this is probably where people go that I direct here, right?
Well, people love coming here, especially, hey, I just need 6 inches of 1x1 aluminum square bar 6061. We have a ton of it here. So we cut everything to the inch, so once it gets cut down, it arrives on this shelf. And this is kind of a free-for-all. It's organized a little bit. You have stainless steels, aluminums, then some of the bigger crew tubes and welded tubes. Then we have cold roll, 1018 solid stock in there. There's some really big chunks in there.
So what would people use cold roll for versus like hot roll?
So on cold roll, you get a much nicer finish, and it's actually a specific alloy. It's the 1018.
Okay.
Whereas the A36 is kind of like the melting pot of steel, right?
Okay, yeah.
A lot of your recycled goes back into making A36, but 1018 has a little more, the alloy is a little more dialed in.
Got it.
You can tell because it's got square corners and it's got a nicer finish versus a piece of hot roll up here is A36 and it's going to have
more
rounded edges and it's going to have that mill scale on there. So a lot of people that are doing patina projects want that cold roll so that they can get a better rust finish on it. You're doing a lot of removal on hot roll sometimes, but hey, if you just need a piece of steel,
which one costs more?
A 1018 costs a little bit more, but it's not much. It's fractional.
Because to me, this is all just prepared iron for the most part.
Yeah. To you guys, it's prepared iron.
We don't separate any way that way. There are some scrap yards out there that do a really intensive sort.
Yeah.
But man, it's just so time consuming.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense.
No, probably not. That's why when we recycle with you, we have the bigger bin is the unprep iron and 1018. Some 1018 goes in there and A36, and so yeah. But then you have all your crew tubes, round, squares, rectangles. Flat bars are arranged by thickness, so you can come in here and go, oh yeah, and I know I need an 1/8. Here it is, bam. If it's under 48 inches, it's probably in here. So we always try to start here, but
is that where you go? You get under 2 feet?
Yeah, under about 48 inches is kind of the rule of thumb for this shelf here.
So this came all from like other jobs.
Yep.
You cut it to their size, you got it ready for them, but then you can't really have it over in this side of the shop. It's more for like the guys just doing a little project.
Yeah.
Just because it's so small.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And then, especially if you're cutting 7 pieces at, 3 inches or something, I'm not going to go grab a full bar if I can help it.
Yeah.
I'm going to come here and make sure I have it. It's just as good as what's over there. It's just shorter.
It's just smaller, and that's a big need around here. Like so many of the other shops that are selling steel, they won't sell. They don't do this.
They don't.
They won't.
They just get rid of it.
And their minimums are so high.
Yep.
Which I see your sign right there.
Well, our minimum is $5.
You do have a minimum.
It's minimum, but really it's for the credit cards. So if you came in with cash and wanted something for $1, we'd sell it to you.
You'd do it. You'd do it.
Cash is king.
All right, let's go see where the rest of the magic happens.
Cool. Yeah, this is another thing that we don't really carry, that a lot of people don't really carry, is the plastic caps that go on the end of tubes.
Yeah.
So we have just about every size that's available. People love those, so we keep those in stock.
You're selling some wheels here.
And then wheels, just finished wheels and grinding wheels, pretty much, pretty basic. Kind of have a premium option and a budget option there. So.
Is this stuff for sale right here?
Yep,
too?
this is basically stuff that won't fit in there. So this is your bigger, flat bars. Yeah. There's some like bigger flat bars in here. The 1x10s, things that we don't want to lift up and down. They kind of sort their way here. We also have another cart over there that's got some like plasma table rims and stuff.
If this piece sat in here for 2 years, do you say move it? Or do you just let it sit
it depends. I just let it sit there. Yeah.
Does it? It'll probably get moved. It probably wouldn't take that long.
It's crazy. You'll get a lot of people come in and they go, oh, yep, there it is. So you just have to have it available for people to look through and buy. So, and that's what we do here. So.
And we've only been here, 30 minutes getting set up, and I've already seen so many customers come in.
Yeah.
What is your, like, who is your main customer?
We have a really awesome mix of customers, actually. We have, of course, the walk-in, you know, the guys that just want to come in and get 6 inches. We help those guys out at the front desk here. But we actually cater to B2B as well. We'll do batch cuts for machine shops.
Okay.
We'll do, you know, even bigger contractors and stuff. Say, hey, I'm building a fence. I need inch and a half.
So you'll do big B2B machine shops.
Yep.
And you'll also cater to
we have a truck. We do job site deliveries sometimes too. It just kind of depends on what it is. You know, we're not going to do it for a small piece, but if we have
a bigger order.
15 crew tubes cut at certain lengths, we'll deliver it to your job site for you for a pretty good fee. Then this is kind of new to us. This is your knife steels. We try to support the Idaho Knife Association. We love those guys. They're actually having a little meeting coming up soon. I think I shouted it out earlier. So we
coming up in a few weeks, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we supply like 1084, 1095 are the most common. You have that in hot rolling and cold roll as well.
So what makes it different though than, you know, I assume this stuff's considerably more, costs more money.
It does,
But why?
This is high carbon.
Okay.
So you're going to get, when you're making a knife out of it, this is very popular because it holds, you know, holds an edge.
That edge. Okay.
And it's very easily heat treatable.
The other stuff can dull quicker, right?
Yeah, like A36 and 1018.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're doing knives, you want something with higher carbon.
So like the high-end knives are using this stuff.
Yeah.
Are the low-end knives using the other stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say like 1095 is probably your all-around best option for like stock removal knives.
Okay.
And we also have the 1084. But then, yes, there are some interesting pieces in here. We do some tool steels, like that's D2.
Oh, okay. And I know that's
very
worth
good.
some money.
Yep. And we have a lot of strips of those. S35 VN, which is it's got vanadium added into it. So it's like almost like a super steel.
Vanadium?
Vanadium.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's
something that just really hardens it.
Yeah, it has to do with the crystalline structure of it.
Okay.
There's a whole science to it.
Yeah.
Another common stainless is 440C for making knives.
Do you have a lot of like hobbyists like picking up this stuff?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Because I've talked to a lot of hobbyists that are making knives.
Yeah, and we'd like to serve that industry more, but people don't know that we really do this. The big thing with knives is like online retailers will sell you a 12-inch strip of this, right? And then they'll ship it to you. Man, the markup on that stuff is crazy.
Oh, I bet.
Because they're cut, you know, they're just like if I was to cut you something, you know, the cost would be a little bit higher, and shipping costs as well on an individual piece, it just makes it through the roof. Whoa. Which doesn't really matter to knife people as much, but here we buy it in a pallet, you know, and we save you that shipping and we pass it along.
And they can buy this whole thing.
They can buy the whole thing, or we'll cut it for them, just like the rest of our business.
Yeah.
Yep. So
we have. Well, hopefully people see this.
Yeah.
If they need this stuff, they know where to go now.
We have a couple local makers that we featured in our case here.
Oh yeah, I was checking this one out.
This guy, this one's Joseph Knives. We cut this out on our plasma table.
Okay.
And then he finished it up and did all the finish work. He does amazing work. And then Riley here.
So you cut the shape of it?
Yeah, we cut
and then he finishes it to make the angle and all that?
Yep. And then Riley here makes his own Damascus steel, where he folds it. You know, this one is 1084 and 15 and 20. I think he actually got that here. And then we have a couple G-Wiz.
How does he make this? How does that pattern develop in there?
So they take the metal, heat it up, twist it, smash it, and depending on how many times you twist it and how many times you heat it up and fold it back over itself, you get different patterns.
Is this pattern? Is that a pattern or is that?
This one's not a pattern.
That's
etched. Yeah, it's a little slightly different.
Well, what's up here?
These are titaniums. I just kind of brought them in for fun because people like looking at these.
These are titanium?
Yep, that's crystallized titanium.
I thought it was like a plastic or something.
Yeah, no, that's a titanium.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And then those are titanium Damascus.
Are people making knives out of titanium as well?
Not as much.
What would they make? What would people?
This would be probably like the bolster of a knife, you know, to decorate. Like where the hand guard is. It's
right
kind of it's more along that material line.
titanium up here?
Yeah, some more
titanium.
Short,
so. See up there,
yeah, I made this for me. So
I could tell.
Then we have copper and brass rims, kind of just the same as over there, but obviously this is a little more valuable, so it's a little further in, but you still have some scraps that you can pick through if you need. You know, knife makers use a lot of this stuff for pins, things like that.
So what I loved about when we showed up today, and we got a shot of it, is you're over here on this.
Yeah.
What's going on over here? What were you doing?
All right, so the next thing is sheet metal. We have everything from plate. We have a lot of Plaz rims and stuff, so you know, like 3/8, quarter, and then it goes all the way up to 025 aluminum. So we have we actually have a pretty good range. We have perf in aluminum and stainless. We have expanded, which I don't think anyone in town really has, that's cut to inch.
Expanded metal. That stuff's not cheap.
No, it's not. Anytime you add process to steel.
Because we've done some expanded metal on some of our projects before.
Yeah.
It gets expensive.
Yep. So we're one of the only places that cuts it. You know, it is spendy, but if you need it.
Why do people not cut it?
Because they don't want to deal with this. I'll show you.
Okay.
So this is when sheets get cut down to closer to half size.
Yeah.
Then you can come through and pick by size. You know, this is like a quarter 50-52 aluminum, you know, rim from a job. And you go, oh, I only need, you know, that much. And then we can shear it up for you. So we have a good selection of everything in between. Stainless on the right, aluminum, steel, and then your expanded. They suck to deal with because they're hard to pull in and out, but we do it a little bit. There's some smaller ones down there.
You can see why it costs more money.
Yeah.
I mean, you
obviously gets punctured and then stretched and ripped.
Yeah, people have put a lot of work in it.
And it's 9 gauge. Yeah, the machines that do that are not cheap.
I would like to see that get made.
Yeah.
Is anyone around here making expanded
I don't think so.
No, more at a steel mill.
Yeah, we bring it from big processors.
Okay.
Is where we get it. So yeah, then you know, sheet.
Yep.
Everything gets smaller, right?
Smaller.
So yep. Once you get smaller than what you know is really in here, then we recycle and we send to you.
Yeah.
So we're a lot more efficient with you know, actual utilization than most shops.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee there's going to be a home for every piece here.
Oh yeah, I come here all the time. Yeah, you know, there's a guy came in yesterday. It's like, I need 16 gauge, 6 inches by 8 inches. Yeah. I'm like, I know exactly where it is. Came over here and then we just shared it for him.
That's awesome.
He was super happy because it was like $5. You know, he's either coming here and we're helping him, or he's spending an hour in the scrapyard trying to find something that'll work for him.
If he can find a scrapyard,
if he can find something that'll
let you walk around. You know, that's just that's a deal that's changing. Like it's just hard to set up that structure. Like we got scrapyards have enough things to worry about. Having a guy like pick through a pile,
some liability and stuff.
I don't want to worry about. I'd rather just send them to you. Okay, so you're selling all this by the foot though, not by the pound. By the inch.
Yep, we're the only
But
ones
most
that
places sell it by the foot.
Foot or the pound, yeah.
Do some places sell it by the pound? What's like standard on this end?
On stuff like this, it's usually like by the piece.
Okay.
You know, you're gonna get a 12-foot bar, a 20-foot bar, a 10-foot bar, things like that, which, you know, leads to stuff piling up at your shop. So you can pay a little bit higher per inch, have us cut it for you.
Okay.
And if you're a machinist, machinists actually love that because we're cheaper than a lot of those online retailers because we don't pay the shipping.
Yeah.
They get it cut. They know who's cutting it. They're supporting a small business.
And there's so much manufacturing here.
Oh yeah.
So like, there's so many people that I'm sure you're saving them a lot of money.
Yeah. You know? Yeah.
And it moves the cut pieces.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I use it more efficiently. So, you know, one's cut down half, and then they order cut pieces at 3 inches. I can still use that bar.
Yeah.
So yeah, it stays here until that point.
Was that always the protocol down here when you bought the business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So,
that's what I thought. And that's what I like. That's why I send everyone here.
Yeah.
I know you're willing to do that.
Been keeping it the same, and people like it. So.
I love it.
But yeah, we have all the way up to 12-inch wide flat bar.
Okay.
So, you know, quarter.
You go pretty wide.
3/8, yeah.
If someone wanted 18, you get it for them?
No, then we're doing plate.
Oh, you do? You cut it out of a plate?
Yeah, we're just doing plate.
Okay.
We have the plies table. We'll get to
that. So that where they stop on that 12, and then you go plate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with the aluminum flats over here. Watch your step on the forks.
Okay.
Again, machinists. This is mainly machinists buy out of this section.
Okay.
Machinists or a lot of B2B that does production work that need, a small batch of something cut.
Yeah.
And then they're machining something out of it. We really excel at that. And I don't know how much of that market I have. I know I have a lot of machine shops that do it.
Yeah.
But I know there's a bunch more that are buying their metal from like online metals or something, and they're just getting ripped off.
Well, that's one reason we started this podcast is there's so many cool big businesses and so many cool small businesses right here.
Yeah.
Just right here in the Treasure Valley, really. And people have no idea.
Can you help, Brian?
Like, people just have no idea about it. So that's what we really like to highlight that. And I think with you, you're kind of like us. You're dealing with the big customers and the smaller ones too.
Yeah, we have a great mix of customers, like I mentioned earlier, and I love it. I love selling to the Knife Rivers and dealing with their POs and stuff, and then also just the guy that we know, down the street comes in. And so this is my newest pride and joy.
This is what we saw.
This is it, yeah. So we used to have a 48-inch shear that was hydraulic. Not adjustable at all. We just recently purchased this, 10 foot long, and it'll shear up to 1/4 inch plate.
Oh wow!
So we were plazing, the thicker stuff before, having to load it. Now all we do is come over here and bam, cut it out. It has adjustable backstop too, so we can do production cuts.
Okay.
If you want to do 1,000 cuts with us on sheet, we're set up for it. But yeah, this thing is
it a big time saver? Is that what it does? Okay.
Time saver, and it's just the function, being able to cut 1/4 plate, 10 foot long is amazing. So yeah, we use this every day.
So it sounds like you're investing your money back into your business.
Oh, trying to, yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yep. We want to provide the best service we can,
and like I said earlier, that's what I love about this shop. When we got here, you weren't sitting in some fancy office.
Oh yeah, my
you were out here. You were out here.
Yeah, I was cutting somebody's 8 by 4 times 7. So yeah, we get after it.
Very cool.
So
what's this?
Box and pan brake. This one's 48 inches. We didn't go bigger than 48 inches because we have a couple partners that we work with that do CNC bending and stuff.
Okay.
So and anything over 48 inches, you're gonna want most likely CNC bent anyways, because it's going to require some tonnage to press it.
So this is going to help you bend something for someone?
Yeah, so if we want to do like little pans and stuff for people that are like out of 16 gauge, we do it all day long here. We use this quite often. So yeah, the thin sheets under 48 we can do in-house. The other ones, we'll never compete with the shops that have the big CNC. So
you build those relationships with them.
And we just work with them. We usually have a 1 to 2 day turnover on most CNC bend jobs because we have a really good relationship with a bender. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Then this sucker right here is the Iron Worker, 55 ton. It does punching, shearing up to 12-inch flat bar. And then it also does some bending as well.
Punching, so you can punch
holes
in it.
Yep.
For bolts and things like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we do squares with like 4 holes in them all the time.
Okay.
Because somebody's always making, a foot for something to go with a wheel that attaches to it. They're going to weld a tube onto it.
Yeah.
We do a ton of those. People, if you had a piece of 3/8, and you were drilling 4 holes in it with a Cobalt drill bit, that's a half an hour.
Oh, yeah.
You come over here and we go bam, 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 it's done, and you paid us.
It makes their job so much easier. Yep. And for you, if you're already getting it here, I think it just makes sense.
Yep.
So you call it a 40 ton?
55 ton.
55 ton. What is
Iron
that?
Worker.
What does that mean?
It's the hydraulic pressure that it can put down.
So it can
cut 3/4
55 ton of pressure.
It can cut 3/4 by 12 flat bar.
Wow. So there's some serious pressure there.
Yep.
Very cool.
And then this section over here is our tube section. You've got the bigger round tubes, bigger square tubes. Try to put heaviest stuff lower,
on the bottom,
so we're not killing ourselves. But then we have a pretty good selection of most sizes. And if we don't have it here, we usually have this stuff in this section the next day if you need it.
Oh, you can get it next day.
So all your angle iron,
Why
all
are they?
your square.
What's up with all these colors?
So pink is 065. Okay. It's the wall thickness.
Okay. That tells you 065 is the wall.
Is the wall? Yep.
So you can just look and you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I assume that's industry standard.
No.
It's not?
I think that this is our own system.
That's your own system.
But it is common to other places, I think.
Well, I've seen a lot of stuff in the yard colored. You know, so I kind of always thought it was like a standard industry norm.
So some of them it's messed us up in the past where we get something from somewhere and it's painted a certain color and it's not our color, it's a different color. But yeah, quarter is blue, you know, eighth or 120 is yellow, 095 is green, and the same for everything else.
Okay.
Then we have a little bit different for the schedules, Schedule 80 and Schedule 40 for the tubes.
When it's Schedule 80, that means it can like handle pressure, right?
Yeah, these are designed. These are a little cheaper than the welded tube, which actually starts its life as plate and then gets bent and weld. These are kind of extruded, but yeah, these are more designed for pressure applications
like
or fluid applications.
Yeah.
But they're really good for just whatever, you know.
You can use them for whatever.
Yeah, had a guy made a go-kart out of it.
Oh, really?
Day. So yeah, he came and we cut up a bunch of. He's making a go-kart with his kid. So
that's awesome.
Then the next one is DOM. I think we're the only ones in town that do DOM. DOM is drawn over mandrel. It's a specific alloy that has certain pressure and like bending resistance capabilities. So it's a much higher quality product, and it's available in many more sizes. So there's no weld, whereas the crew tubes have the weld in there where they started their life as plate and then were bent.
Okay.
These guys have none of that tension in them. They're actually pushed through an extrusion.
Okay.
And they're more like the 1018 where they're, you know, a better alloy.
What would people need it for?
Roll cages, racing roll cages use these because they're stronger.
It's stronger.
Yep. Pressure application. And then a lot of times we just sell DOM because you can't find the size in crew tube. You're just getting in DOM. You get a nicer product, it's more expensive, but you can get it in the bigger sizes with the thin walls and things like that.
Yeah.
So we carry some of the common sizes, and then we're about a week out underneath.
So this is getting extruded.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets pushed out. So then you have aluminum, kind of the same story on aluminum with sizes, and then we have some of the extrusions, and we can order most stuff and have it in here in 2 to 3 days. So we just kind of carry the common ones.
The common stuff.
Yeah. We have a small stainless section because stainless is, one, expensive.
Yep.
And two, it's just not bought as much.
Well, people don't.
And people that are buying stainless want something like brand new looking, so we bring it in, you know, on our normal truck for people.
They're either using it because it's some type of heat. There's some heat application.
Heat application, or corrosion resistance. Corrosion. It's outside. It's different things. Mm-hmm. I have machine shops that have us cut a bunch of this for parts that they're making.
Okay.
Like so, then continuing on, there's a lot of metal in this place. We have it organized by cold roll on this side, and then hot roll on this side. And we have basically every size of flat bar that is manufactured, starting with 1/8, going all the way up to half
in
thickness. So we keep this pretty much stocked, and it goes all the way up to 6.
Well, you have it all positioned so well. You have a lot of material in here.
We do, yeah. With it vertical, we can really get a lot of material in here. We're the only place in town that really sells copper and brass too.
Yeah.
Most like the stainless, most common sizes are in here, but then if you need it, we're about 2 weeks out on that.
Well, probably, people probably aren't using this a whole lot, I would think.
Actually, since we're the only place that sells it, we get quite a few requests.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
A lot of bus bars, electrical hobbyists. Mm-hmm. And then we actually just did a job for Micron that was 3/8 thick, and we cut holes in it and everything for them. They're hooking up
Okay.
You know, the transformers on the
grid.
grid.
Yeah, that would make sense to work with like bus bar, like make bus bar, because you know it's got to get made somewhere.
Yep. There's a lot of the electrical guys in town know that we're here when they need it, so there's a lot of those guys that come in.
What people are buying the brass?
Man, on brass we have everything from like the artist, to contractors.
Okay.
The last sale I think I did on brass went into one of the parade homes in town.
Okay.
It was like a layment in the floor. He had some pretty cool pictures of that.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then same thing for aluminum. You've got aluminum flat bars, just about every size they make. And if we don't have it in stock, we'll have it in 2 to 3 days.
Some more copper, more brass.
Yeah, they're over here because of the shapes, just to make sure we don't mix them up. Yeah. We have like hexagon over here, and having hexagon over there is a little more confusing. So
you got some big pieces of copper down here.
There's some big copper and brass back over there. And then 303 stainless, we have a little bit of that as well, standing up. And then on more processing capabilities, we have the dual bandsaw that we just picked up.
So this is pretty new?
Yeah, we just got it last month. Just got it up and running.
So did you have another one here and you just replaced it?
Nope, this is a vertical. So whereas we have the horizontal for cutting all the long products, we can do sheets in here.
Just makes you a little faster again?
This one, it just does different things. So a lot of sheet metal and stuff is going to get cut on here.
Okay.
And the long products will get cut on the horizontal.
Okay, awesome.
We did pick up a new drill mill. I'm waiting on a chuck for it, but pretty soon we'll be able to put like keyways and stuff for people.
Oh, just you could add like a
just really simple machining stuff. So
you're just adding to your processing side?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we want to be able to do some things for people. So
your shop's pretty full, man.
Yeah, it's packed in here.
You've used every inch.
Yep. Yeah, that's why we're trying to get into a new building.
I love these.
So yeah, this thing is awesome. We do plasma cutting, and a lot of people bid this by the like the linear inch that the machine runs. We don't operate that way. We just say, hey, if you're buying the metal here and you want to do a design on it, you know, we just do our hourly rate. It's $75 an hour, no matter what we're doing.
So you're not charging them by how far the machine goes.
So if it's like super intricate
that's pretty industry norm to do it that way.
It is, yeah. Right? And we do it this way just because we found that it's like, why are we doing that? You know, we're just here. We're selling metal. You know, if you want something cool, we do a lot of circles on here. We do a lot of, again, squares with holes, things like that we couldn't do on the iron worker.
Well, you have this right here.
Yeah, this part. So this machine actually went down last week and it stopped, and this part is stuck in there.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a guy emailed his file that he designed, and the rest were actually right here. I don't know what he was using it for. I think it was a little race car project.
Oh yeah,
like that.
I could see that.
But yeah, we cut it out for him, you know, cut a few of them out, and then he welded them all up. So, you know, if you don't have a plas table, you can come down, send us a file, or we can draw the file for you too.
Yeah, you just add the file in here, program it.
If you can draw in Fusion and export a DXF or an SVG, we can cut it for you. And then if you don't know what you're doing at all, we'll draw it for you. I've had people bring in napkins, and
I might have to. I have some ideas.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Some stuff for our walls. So
yeah, we've done everything from art to, you know, just your basic square with holes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it looks like you have a ton of options for your customers.
Crammed into this little spot here.
It's awesome. I love the American flag.
Yeah, that was my first purchase when I took over this place.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
I was like, what's the biggest flag I can buy? Super patriotic.
And that goes in. Our next stop is going to be, what do you call it?
My part-time job?
Your part-time job?
Yeah.
Give us a little glimpse of what we're going to be doing next.
We're going to go out and see where I work part-time. I'm a Idaho Air National Guardsman, and we work on aircraft out there. Give you hopefully their shop's a little cleaner than mine here.
Oh, this is great,
but it's the sheet metal shop out there. We have a bunch of capabilities out there that people don't even know about. So hopefully we'll get a
hopefully we
let us do a tour and
get
film
approval.
And everything. Yeah.
I would love to show people that you're doing this, and on your days off, you do that.
Yeah, I do it on the weekend, and then sometimes I will go on trips to wherever. Last one I went on was down to Hill Air Force Base in Utah.
You going down there for like training, or are you going down there to
that
work?
that one was, we went down and dropped a bunch of bombs. It was training for the pilots, but they needed maintenance support, so they brought a few representatives, and I was the sheet metal representative for that trip, so. Yeah,
that's awesome. I can't wait to tour that. But we got one more thing to look at.
Oh yeah,
probably
the best for last. Huh?
My favorite spot.
So yeah, once they get down to a certain size, they go in the bin. And when we first talked,
you can't sell it anymore.
Yeah. When we first talked, I said, "Hey, I've got some high quality scrap for you if you want it." We use 3 of your bins. 4x6, 4x4s, 2 of them. We separate it for you. So stainless steel goes in one, your unprep iron goes in here, and then aluminum, of course. We do a lot of aluminum and a lot of unprep iron on the daily. Once it just gets to a point where, it's not usable, kind of a, super sharp remnant of whatever.
And like any business, like the less waste, the better.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Well, we're probably the most efficient, as you saw. We get down to the small pieces.
You are. Like you don't, and that's great. I want every business that we talk to, that we deal with, every business out there, even if we don't deal with them, I want them to be successful, because it's like that's like the heartbeat of this nation is places like this.
Heck yeah.
You're employing people, you're helping people.
Yeah. And if you come see us, you're going to talk to me, Jeremy, Brian, Lincoln,
There's 5 of you,
There's 5 of us.
There's 5 of you.
Yep.
So you guys are doing the work.
Yep.
The owners are involved. It's not, a bunch of owners sitting in some high rise somewhere. I love it.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for doing our scrap.
Yep. Thank you.